Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kadash, the belongs to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to your Archeon pushing the sword in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yassad, back at you with another lesson. Well, we edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yeah, and this one here is with you with that when the economy becomes economic decline, a lot of job losses, crime rate rising. You have been seeing a lot of home invasions, theft. You literally seen Elamite, on social media getting caught shoplifting to feed the family, right? And things ain't gonna get better, all the guidance and all the advice and thing the government could give. You literally seen it with your own eyes. The economy is getting more tough. A lot of people going on the breadline. Crime rate will increase because that is what a lot of them would turn to when they're not being able to, not having jobs and being able to put nothing on the table. Alright, this is based on reports from late 2025. I'll the article here. And early 2026, TNT has experienced significant economic strain and a rising wave of job losses across several sectors. Here's a summary of employment situation. Mass job loss 2025 to 2026. According to Central Statistical Office data, unemployment rose between the second and third quarter of 2025, with thousands of people losing their jobs. Reports indicate thousands of terminations occurred in public sector. Because right now a lot of businesses closing down. You see that taking place. A lot of businesses having no choice but to cut staff in the private sector. Let's say including CPEP, URP, forestry, and health authority workers. Because so about 1,200 health authority workers are sent home. It's getting tough. And what would these people who surviving, especially on minimum wage and whatnot, what are they left to do? When they're jobless. So little ends that was making meat, they ain't had that coming in anymore. What would be their case? How will they be able to feed their family? It's a sectoral decline. The energy sector has faced instability with a shutdown of nutrient plants, threatening hundreds of jobs. While Proman announced a temporary 2-year suspension of operations in January 2026, private sector closures such as the Home Store and Movietown Tobago branch have also contributed to downturn. Economic forecast, economists and business chambers have highlighted a structural decline in the economy, warning that this could lead to lower disposable incomes. Because just recently I watched that midwives and thing in the hospitals, they cut the pay. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the article on it. From TTRNA, Trinidad and Tobago. It's in shocking move, government reduces nurses and midwives' income. Nursery and midwifery personnel across TNT are waking up to news that pool extra duty rates have been cut, thus taking these rates back a decade. Unbelievable, even as healthcare workers remain on 2013 salaries, have with no confirm indication when workers would receive an increase. This news coming out over the long weekend has indeed rocked the nursing and midwifery community. Why would the government, knowing that the cost of living is increasing on a daily basis, knowing the healthcare workers have not received a salary increase over a decade, knowing that hospitals are severely understaffed, would decide to slash our income by 20%? We must push back strongly. So they might protest, and it's 4 days ago and whatnot. So this is to show you, things not good, getting better here, and it won't continue to get better. Because according to the prophecies, farming is coming, grinding is ceasing. Let's get into some scriptures while we bring out articles. The book of Ecclesiastes 12, and these are the things that we have been telling you about. Don't think that this place is going to be upheld and it's going to get better. No, the Lord set this place for a fall. Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, it says, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And we've seen a lot of job losses, even cut back on workers' pay. Economists balling they're gonna have to work people for less money. So while the cost of living, the price of food, your bills get more high, to go there and to have no job, or to the little salary I was working for, to get a pay cut, a decrease in your salary, that's real rough. That's real rough. That's it. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, because I was gone. The people's face would be darkened, they would cry out because to know you now lost your job, you was paying for your car, you had your house, or you're renting. What is your next move? That's a real messed up position. The face would be darkened, that is mirth cease. That's it, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, as meaning business place closing up. Let me get another article while I was going where I had. Let's see what's this little data from CSO data showed 12,000 job losses from April to September 25th, 2025. It's a months later, many who applied to the government for job have been It says since losing a CPAP job last June, Eslyn Beaumont have joined the long listing of unemployed individuals in the country. In last 8 months, a 60-year-old woman, and look at it, a woman in her 60s and still had to be looking for a minimum wage rate just to survive. Isn't it tough? I've knocked on the doors of more than 2 dozen businesses in search of work, but her age, a business owner wouldn't hire someone at 60 years, especially in this time, but has come up empty-handed. Woman knows her age is stacked against her, and she's growing frustrated. You know, yeah. And hey, far more for others, right? TNT business exodus continues only beginning at 2026. Within months of each other, several businesses, including 2 media houses, have closed, citing economic decline. Economists believe that TNT current economic pressure are the result of long-standing structural weakness rather than recent policy action. And what the scripture speaks of? The scripture speaks of what? That verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. So, hey, the economy getting more hard, businesses shutting down. Businesses being closed. The work get less, because if a business that had 30, 40 workers shut down, these workers have no job. So the more business shut down is the less jobs it would have. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Here too. Slack it. The mood begin to vanish. Sadness kicking in. The scripture saying Zephaniah 1:10. Zechariah 1. Zephaniah 1:10. Let's say, and it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate. Fish represents food. So right now, there's a cry of the economy out from the people because of the economy, and an howling from the second, and a good crashing from the hills. The economy, the decline of the economy. A lot of job losses, businesses closing down, unemployed people. It would send up the crime rate. Let's say that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate. Yeah, bread, crying out for bread. You don't have no work, you can't make money, you cannot buy food. What position that would keep you in? Right? Yeah. Hey, currently I facing in the private sector, things slow down. But hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, always give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That hey, when things slow down, is another opportunity the Lord does open for me. Another opportunity to water to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for that. When things slows down on one company, thing booms back up on another company, and they are able to float toward Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for that. Yeah. But hey, that's all we seen coming. Cost of living getting more expensive. Hey, they're looking to instead of they give you a pay increase, they want to decrease your pay. While cost of living gets more hard. These are the times that we live in, and this is what we have been speaking of. You know? Yeah. The demand of goods being more high. Let's imagine for the longest while fish prices have remained at an all high, you know, for months. Yeah, you know, it's to show you we are living in them times. Alright. As the scripture talk, and it's gonna get worse. Yeah, the scripture talk until and shall be no work in Egypt. There Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 and 15, it said, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Right, so in the land of captivity, no work, a job, hard to get a job all the time. Them employed people, which the tail or the head branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Yeah. And also the same system that you trusted in is gonna devour you. That's what is happening. Right? Hey, as you see war taking place, prophecy that's speaking, you know, war taking place with Iran. You know, and the devil, they always stand up in the pride. Now they be left or send troops, send ground troops into the Middle East. Isn't this all prophecy? You know? So hey, I just want to pray that this lesson was edified. I'd like to all pray to say Ahwa Bashem El Shai Bashem Kakadash. You know, double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to Akim pushing this word in sincerity and in truth until the next Shalom.